friends, you're at the crossroads with MDB. That's right. North, south, east, west. Which path do we take? All week, we've been taking the path of exploring writers, rock and roll writers. William Burroughs was one of them. Hunter S. Thompson was another. Bukowski. The point is that I'm trying to make is literary figures like that inspired writers, inspired Patti Smith, inspired Jim Morrison, inspired so many people. I mean, Bukowski gave it that sort of ashtray. Rock and roll got that gutter, the beauty of the brutifulness, shall we say, beauty and brutishness into his words, which then soaked into the consciousness of young rock and rollers who wrote accordingly, which makes it organic, which is amazing. And they are inspirations. Now, let me just say humbly, right to you right now, that I've kept my favorite rock and roll writer till the last day of the week. And you know who that is? Miss Pamela Des Barres. Biased? Perhaps. Correct? Absolutely. I'm with the band. Have you guys read I'm with the band? It's this incredible blend of sexuality and innocence. It's a girl from the valley in Los Angeles with teased hair who suddenly sees, like Stevie Van Zandt did, the Beatles, and like us, we all did. It's a, oh my God. Look, what's the, Elvis? Oh my goodness, what do I want? I feel something deep inside me that wants to connect myself with that energy. And then the Stones, the dirty, dangerous Rolling Stones. So Miss Pamela's sitting there in the valley with her mum and dad. Her dad was a guy who went gold prospecting. Her mother was this charming, sweet woman, working class, absolutely, from Kentucky originally. And now she's in California, the Golden State. The movie star state. And now the rock star state. And she got in a rock star state. She was put into such a state by these young men in these skinny pants with their tight thighs and their bangs and their Muddy Waters derived music and their Little Richard harmonies. Oh, she fell in love with Elvis. Absolute. Her little baby bedroom when she was 15, 16 was covered with pictures of Dion and the Belmonts. Dion DiMucci, the great singer, Runaround Sue, the King, Jailhouse Rock, the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Rolling Stones, Give Me Some Satisfaction. I mean, just besotted with it. Now, here's the secret. She kept a journal. She kept a journal. And in that journal is this extraordinary journey of this 15, 16-year-old teenage girl from Reseda, California, getting her way through Laurel Canyon to Oz. Sunset Boulevard in the 60s, riots on the Strip, the Vietnam War, Jim Morrison wailing at the Whiskey A Go-Go in his leather pants and his conch belt, Jefferson Airplane in San Francisco, the Stones in London, the Beatles everywhere. It was just permeated with a revolution. No more teased hair. Let the hair down and wear nothing. Those girls that got together on Sunset Boulevard, the GTOs, girls together outrageously. Frank Zappa, they went to see Frank. He saw them dance in the front of the stage, trying to get their attention. He signed them to his label, Bizarre Records. On that label, Captain Beefheart, Wildman Fisher. Unbelievable bunch of lunatics and brilliant musicians and forward-thinking avant-garde people, which he considered these girls to be. Now, these girls, while the term groupie, I don't think even existed. It did maybe in some form or another. Of course, Sinatra had Bobby Soxers, I think they were called in those days. But these girls, they were just a force of nature. And I can't tell you everything all about this. It's way too debauched. But I can tell you this. The distinction of the word groupie, these girls inspired these young men. If you ever bump into Robert Plant or Jimmy Page, you ask them. Going to California was written about these girls. These girls that inspired them, that made them feel good. They're 19. They've never been out of their little house in the north of England or they're, in some suburb of London. And now they're in Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, Elvis Presley land. Neon everywhere. And the girls, giving them velvet pants, making them shirts, giving them a turquoise bracelet, putting maybe a little bit of eye makeup on it, changing their lives. These working class kids that had come over. Remember, Plant was 19 when he came to America anyway. So Miss Pamela befriended these, as did the other girls in the GTOs, and she wrote about it. Yeah, she wrote about it day and night, and she kept this journal, and she sat by that phone waiting for Jimmy Page to call. Yeah, and others, many others to call. But the many others, let's face it, were Keith Moon, Mick Jagger. You know, I mean, it was not anybody and anything to get a notch on your belt. No, she wanted to be close to the source and power of rock and roll. And that's what she did. She turned those journals, which I, when we married, dig this, and I'd come over to America in '74 after having toured here a couple of years, and I met Pamela, and I just fell in love with her immediately. We did a movie together. I just thought she was America. It was like marrying America, which I did. I was married to somebody else at the time. It's a thing I deeply regret, but there you have it. So we're in our little apartment, and she goes out, and I go, I don't know, I'm under the bed, you know, probably stoned or something. So I'm under the bed, and I find the journals. And what do? Yes, I read them, shocked, amazed, and turned on. I thought, this girl has a pedigree like no other, and I loved her for it. So there you have it. Miss Pamela Des Barres. She wrote I'm With the Band. She wrote Take Another Little Piece of My Heart, which was the follow-up. She wrote some incredible, beautiful books. Rock Bottom, which is dark moments in music Babylon, and Let's Spend the Night Together, which is a book about other girls' experiences with rock and roll stars. Tremendous writer, has a clothing line, Groupie Couture, teaches writing, travels the country, travels the world, and is a real metaphysical yoga devotee and a cancer survivor.